As Israel's war on Gaza enters its 19th month, the last public hospital in northern Gaza has been deliberately forced out of service. Israeli drones and ground troops struck the Indonesian Hospital in Beit Lahia, marking the final collapse of the region's entire healthcare system. With thousands of patients now cut off from life-saving treatment and humanitarian aid blocked, global experts say Gaza is witnessing the deliberate dismantling of a civilian population's right to survive. Zir News 24 reports from Gaza.
Israeli strike shuts down Indonesian hospital as UN demands immediate end to Gaza atrocities. In its continued assault on Gaza's healthcare system, Israeli forces have once again targeted the Indonesian hospital in Beit Lahia, northern Gaza, this time using drones and ground troops. The hospital, one of the last remaining public health centers in the north, was placed under total siege and bombarded, forcing it out of service Sunday night. Gaza's health ministry confirmed that all public hospitals in North Gaza are now completely shut down, leaving thousands of wounded and sick Palestinians without access to life-saving care. Dr. Marwan al-Sultan, director of the Indonesian hospital, said the intensive care unit was directly targeted, with about 30 patients and 15 staff trapped inside during the attack. No one could reach them. This latest strike comes after Israel had already rendered Kamal Adwan and Beit Hanun hospitals non-functional. Now, Gaza's northern health system has collapsed entirely. The deliberate targeting of hospitals, medical staff and ambulances has become a defining feature of Israel's war on Gaza. Speaking from UN headquarters in New York, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres issued a blunt and urgent statement. Israel must stop these crimes now. The targeting of civilians, hospitals and aid convoys must end. A ceasefire is not optional. It is an absolute humanitarian necessity.
We need a permanent ceasefire now. The unconditional release of all hostages now. And the free flow of humanitarian aid, ending the blockade now. I am alarmed by reported plans by Israel to expand ground operations and more. And I emphasize that the United Nations will not participate in any so-called aid operation that does not adhere to international law and humanitarian principles of humanity, impartiality, independence and neutrality. And I reiterate my appeal for the urgent and full support of UNRWA's work, including financial support. We reject the repeated displacement of the Gaza population, and we obviously reject any question of forced displacement outside of Gaza. We must also stay focused on the terrible situation in the occupied West Bank. Let's be clear, annexation is illegal, settlements are illegal. Only a two-state solution can deliver sustainable peace.
His remarks came as the death toll soared once again. Gaza's health ministry reported that nearly 3,000 Palestinians have been killed since Israel broke the March 18 ceasefire. In the past 72 hours alone, hundreds have died in airstrikes across the Strip. The humanitarian fallout is catastrophic. Doctors report the complete breakdown of Gaza's medical infrastructure. Fuel, medicine, clean water, and food remain under blockade. The European Gaza Hospital, the only facility offering cancer treatment, was also bombed and put out of service. Among the dead are a volunteer pharmacist with the Palestine Children's Relief Fund, killed along with her family, a midwife from Al-Arda Health and Community Association, killed on May 7th, a journalist from Al Arabi TV, killed alongside 11 family members. Meanwhile, massive protests erupted worldwide over the weekend. Tens of thousands of demonstrators took to the streets in London, The Hague and Stockholm, demanding an immediate ceasefire and justice for Palestinians. Protesters carried signs reading, "End the genocide."
You are the biggest and the longest justice movement in this century, perhaps in all time. We are a global movement. We are united. The tide is shifting. The tide is shifting. They cannot ignore us. They will not ignore us. and you will prevail. And we will prevail. We must prevail. We will not be stopped. We will never give up. You will never give up until a free. Thank you.
And shouted against Israel's ongoing campaign of collective punishment in Gaza and the West Bank.
Liberate! 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 When I say justice, you say no! Justice! 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 Justice!
The outcry reflects growing international consensus. This is not a conflict. It is a deliberate and systematic annihilation of an entire civilian population. Human rights experts, UN investigators, and hundreds of global legal scholars have called it genocide. With drones circling overhead, aid blocked at the border, and hospitals in ruins, Gaza stands on the edge of collapse. The question remains, how many more must die before the world intervenes? Zia News 24.